What's up, guys? Back at it with more Jujutsu Kaisen. As always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. It helps out, it means a ton. You guys get plenty of fun stuff. But with that being said, we got to get into it because we got chapter 180 today. And whoo, it was absolutely fire. I loved it. And I know Yuta and Ryu, they were loving it too. But we get told that quickly accumulating and releasing these blasts of cursed energy is only possible when Rika is fully manifested. But even with this being said, it's still not quite as powerful as Ryu's at maximum power, so Yuta's only option really should have been quickly accumulate it as fast as you can and fire it off at Ryu before he can reach max power. But Ryu's smoldering gaze and 400 years of desire unlocked the will to fight in Yuta's heart once again. Though Ryu isn't the only one who decides he wants to have fun with this, and Yuta says, okay, just this once, and they both charge it up, fire it off with this awesome beam struggle that Ryu ends up winning. However, Yuta uses the shockwave to give himself an extra bit of propulsion, an extra bit of speed to try and flank Ryu as Rika fires off a blast of her own. This does catch Ryu off guard a little bit, but he puts the hand up and says, however, whatever you can do, I can do too. Blocks the beam with his hand just like Yuta and Rika did, turns toward Yuta and fires off a blast at him. Unfortunately for Ryu, Yuta's technique has already came back, and he whips out Uro's technique of all techniques, grabs the sky and bends the blast up into the air. Absolute hype. So yeah, while Ryu is figuring out what the hell is going on, how Yuta just used Uro's technique, which he does figure it out pretty quickly, I'm not gonna lie, he's a smart guy. He's like, wait a minute, that was Uro's. I didn't really think he was just a cursed speech user, but then the big thing, and then, okay, so he uses mimicry, that's not really good. Boom! Immediately gets hit with thin ice missile. This guy can't even get through his whole thought process. He was also trying to figure out exactly how Yuta was able to use Uro's ability already, trying to figure out when he fulfilled the necessary conditions to be able to copy a technique. So Yuta can't just like see somebody using a technique from like 100 feet away like, ooh, that's kind of cool, I want to use that one. Like he can't just do that. So yeah, he had to fulfill conditions. Ryu thinks back to when Rika ate Uro's arm, thinking that could have been the condition that was filled. Maybe consuming a bit of flesh, something, blood maybe specifically, who knows. Some kind of something. But either way, Yuta was able to fulfill the conditions, so he can now use the technique to, well, kind of mess Ryu up. But we'll get there. But immediately after Yuta uses Thin Ice Missile on Ryu, Rika comes in and absolutely mollywops him on top of the head. But, knowing Ryu, he's about it, so he comes straight back and returns the favor to Rika, and on top of just taking this massive shot from Ryu, it is also the end of the 5-minute time limit, and Rika is at her limit, starts to fade away. But when Rika was mollywopping on top of Ryu's head, Yuta was in the back, grabbing the sky and pulling back down. What he was pulling back down, you could probably guess, but we'll get there in a second. So, at this point, they start throwing hands, and throughout this whole chapter, Ryu and Yuta, they have both been loving this fight. Ryu especially, like, he just absolutely loves it. So, Yuta kind of looks like he's got the upper hand in this hand-to-hand bit. Ryu's even sitting there thinking, like, I had no idea you had this much left in the tank after using up all your strength. This is dessert, as him and Yuta go at it. But Yuta grabs his arm, grabs his shirt, yanks him down to the ground and says, yeah, this is the spot. What he yanked back down was the same thing that he yanked up into the sky. It was Ryu's blast. And he redirects this thing back on top of this dude's head and ends the fight. I can only assume. Now, at first, I thought Ryu was laying down after this. Like, I thought he got hit and fell backward. But when you go back and look at it, his eyes are looking down, which could also be looking up if you're laying down. But if you look at Yuta and his eyes, he's looking up at Ryu. So yeah, no, I think Ryu's still standing there, just like scorched from his own technique. Like, oh, that was so good, dude. I can't even move. Not even on the ground. It was delicious. I loved it. I know he loved it. It was the dessert that Ryu was looking for. And that sweet, sweet taste of dessert was enough to open Yuta's heart to the thrill of the fight. At least that's what I kind of believe was going on in the beginning of the chapter. Maybe a little bit of a buff. Maybe we'll have to talk about that again later. Who knows? But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the chapter. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know I did. I absolutely loved it. But let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. I love talking to you guys, and I read pretty much every single one of them. But with that being said, I gotta get out of here. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. I'm out.